It's now almost the middle of November, and you know what that means? It's time for the slow cooker. So today we're going to be going over my 5 favorite and easy slow cooker recipes. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shayla, the creator of JunkDrawerMom, where hiding is overrated. On this channel we talk about everything motherhood from practical to personal, so if you're new here, consider subscribing before you go. I'm gonna just keep it real. There are many days, especially when it's either cold and or raining or snowing, if it's snowing where you are right now, where I don't feel like cooking at all. All the steps, it's a whole lot, especially when you have a bunch of kids running around. And you know, we homeschool and everything, so I find that this time of year it's just really easy to throw stuff in the slow cooker. So let me just say, all of these recipes I found on Pinterest. I will put the name and the link in the description box if you want to check it out. I highly recommend all of these. Coming in at number 5, we have the slow cooker Louisiana style red beans and rice. For this recipe I actually used dried beans. Somebody gave us like 2 big bags of dried beans, and I was trying to figure out a way to use them. And since I really like red beans and rice, I ventured out to try to find a recipe that was similar to Popeye's recipe. The reason why I say that it's more involved is because you have to soak the beans overnight and cook them, and then you have to do the then you throw everything in the slow cooker, and you also have to cook the onions and spices before you throw that in too. So it's a little bit more involved, but well worth the work. Well worth the work. And the good thing is 3 out of the 4 kids liked it. I think it was 3 out of 4. So that's pretty good in this house. Coming in at number 4, we have 3 ingredient meatballs. Now, obviously this is really easy because it's only 3 ingredients. Meatballs, grape jelly, and barbecue sauce. And my mom used to make this when I was a kid, and she would always do it for parties and stuff, but it's really easy. It only takes a couple hours in the slow cooker, or you can even just throw it in the oven. Very tasty. The kids love it, and we usually just serve it with rice, a vegetable, and call it a day. Super simple dinner. Doesn't take a whole lot of effort. I always buy the frozen meatballs from Costco. You know, you get that really big bag. And so that lasts us for like 2 to 3 meals. Coming in at number 3, we have Cafe Rio pulled chicken. Now, I know that Cafe Rio is not everywhere in the States, and I know it's certainly not in Canada for those of you in Canada who are watching. But this is a Mexican spot similar to like Chipotle or like Qdoba, places like that. But 1,000 times better, in my humble opinion. My husband and I went there for the first time, like I want to say maybe 2 years ago, and we were absolutely hooked. We were getting this chicken on our salads, and they give you these big, huge, like the bowl is like this big and like that deep, and they pile it like pretty high. And so I ventured out to find a pulled chicken recipe. And I found one. So this one is pretty simple. You just need chicken breasts, a few spices, and some chicken broth, I think, or water. Throw it in the slow cooker for 5 hours. It shreds apart nicely, and we use it for tacos, salads, burritos, really anything. Chicken is one of the easiest things that I can throw into the slow cooker, although I don't necessarily like doing chicken in the slow cooker because it can turn out kind of dry. But as long as you add enough liquid, then you should be okay. And I know that the kids will eat chicken, like regardless of regardless of what kind of chicken it is, they're gonna eat it. So coming in at number 2, we have a pot roast, a 3 ingredient pot roast. Now, I did not grow up eating beef all that much. If it was beef, it was ground beef in like spaghetti or something like that, or for tacos. But actually having like a roast, didn't really grow up eating it. But I would like to learn how to make a really good traditional roast. Slow cooker is a great alternative because this recipe, it turns out perfect every single time. It's a brown gravy packet, an Italian seasoning packet, and a ranch packet. Throw that seasoning in there, that water, put that top on, and it comes out so flavorful, so tender every single time. So that's why it's my number 2, because I don't really know how to do beef, but this recipe, it makes me look like I know what I'm doing. And coming in at number 1, my absolute favorite, which is what I have in the crock pot right now as we speak, is the Cafe Rio sweet pulled pork Copycat recipe. Now, let me tell you something. This stuff is good. This is probably the best pulled pork I've had, I want to venture to say, ever. It's sweet, it's juicy, it's tangy, it's so flavorful. Now, I will preface this by saying, if you are trying to stay away from sugar, this is not the recipe for you, okay? The recipe actually calls for 1.5 cups of sugar and it's cooked in Coca-Cola. So yeah, not the healthiest, but when I tell you that this stuff is so good, just, you know, you can lower the sugar amount, you know, maybe to 1 cup or something. That's the recipe recommends. If you like it a little less sweet, lower it to 1 cup of sugar. But I really don't care at all, because this stuff is good. So we use this pulled pork, again, for same as the Cafe Rio chicken, usually for salads, burritos, tacos, have it over rice and black beans. We can use it for quesadillas. We've used it for breakfast before. We've used it on nachos. So the possibilities for this recipe are endless. So I would say the only like exotic ingredient that you have on the list is adobo paste. I have not been able to really find adobo paste, although I haven't really looked that hard. I've just looked in the grocery store, but I was able to find like adobo sauce. So every time that I've made this recipe, I've used adobo sauce, and it turns out just the same. Not a problem on my end. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Question of the day: what are your favorite slow cooker recipes? Leave a comment in the comment section below. I always love to hear from you all. And you know, maybe somebody can get some tips, because there are lots of favorites out there. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, hiding is overrated. I'll see you next time.